Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will study about HTML lists, that is part 10 of the HTML tutorial series. And in the last lecture we were having some issues with border spacing and the particular changes if you want to make within a particular table if the document is having more than one tables. So I'm going to clear you about those things. And in this example, I have one table. The table is declared inside the body tag. Here is one table, and this table will have the one table row starting and ending, and the other table row starting and ending. First row has headers and the second row has the table data inside it. This is one table only, and inside this table we will set the property using the internal style sheet as inside the style tag in the head tag of the HTML document, and we will use the CSS property named as border spacing colon the CSS property value over here, and this whole value is applied on the HTML element called as table. Here we are having only one table, so we are creating the border spacing for those table cells of 200 pixels. Border spacing is basically for creating the space between the two cells of our table. Here we are having the distance of 200 pixels between the cells. Control S. We are going to see what happens inside our browser, that is with the name of border spacing. I'm opening with the Firefox. Yes, here we are getting this. So you can see that this outline, this border is for one table, and this table is having 6 contents inside it, and every cell is having the space with the other cell of almost 200 pixels. Suppose if I would make the change over here such as 20 pixels between the cells, 20 pixels. Now I would reload. There is a distance between the cells of 20 pixels, right? 20 pixels. So in this way I would use the property of border spacing between the elements, table elements or the table cells. Border spacing of 20 pixels. And we were also having some problem with the uh, particular changes in the particular table. If we are having more than one tables in our document, here we are having two tables in our document. First table is this, then we are having the br tag. Br tag creates the break or the space or the line break between the elements. Then after line break we are having the second table. Suppose we want to change the background color of the second table. I would declare the ID of the table as ID equals double quotes and any type of name I want to give. Here I have given T01. I can use any of the names. Suppose I would name this ID as T, for example. So for this ID, I would do the changes in my style tag as the name of the ID was T. I have selected this HTML element as table hash T. This would be the HTML element, and inside that HTML element I would do such changes. I would set its width as 100%, the background color of this table as cream or this color hash F1 F1C1. This is the uh, color code, hex color code for this for cream color. So I would save. See, I am having two tables. I am making this change in this particular table having this particular ID of T. Control S. Now I would see these changes inside my browser. The name of this is table ID. This document is table ID. I would open it with Google Chrome. Yes, I'm seeing this change. So this is table 1. The background is like this. This is table 2. The background is of cream color, or you can say it as a brown color. So in this way, you will make changes in the particular table. Just set its ID as this and set its property in the style tag as this by selecting like this. So coming towards today's lecture, today we will study HTML lists, that is part 10. And HTML lists are of two types. They are unordered list like this in the form of bullets, and the ordered list in a proper order like this. Unordered lists are denoted with UL tag, and in this unordered list I would have the elements denoted with the list li tag. We would see the practical example for this purpose. File, new, Control S, list.html. I'm saving it on my desktop. Save. Okay. Now HTML starting tag and ending tag is over here. Head tag. Then I am having my Control Z. Then I would have my body tag over here. Okay, now inside my body tag I'm going to write my first unordered list. I would use the tag ul starting and ending, and this ul tag would have the unordered list would have the list such as the li, then li, then again li. Okay, this would be the total list. Here we are having the elements such as pen. First element is pen, second element is pencils, third element is books, right? Now Control S, list.html on my desktop is present like this. Okay, I'm having my unordered list like this. So by default this unordered list has the bullets of disk. These are called as disk bullets. I can also have different style of the bullets for this purpose. I can have circle, square and none. If I would use circle, then I would have to make the change over here like with style. Okay, I would use style. Style equals circle. Suppose I want to show it in the this unordered list in the form of circle bullets. I would see it in my browser. Control S. I would see it in my browser as reload. It should have shown the difference. Okay, you have to use the syntax as list style type colon circle. I would use style equals colon style equals double quotes. Inside double quotes I would write list dash style dash type and circle. Type equals circle or any type of any type of style you want. You can also use square and none for this purpose, and see what happens inside your browser. It should show the difference. Okay, you should use colon over here. Yes, I'm seeing what I wanted to see. These are the circle bullets over here. So you just keep this thing in your mind that in unordered list you will use UL, then you will have list inside this unordered list, then you will use the style attribute having its value as style equals double quotes. Inside double quotes you will use list dash style dash type colon, and the style would be circle, disk, none, or square, right? So in this way we will set the bullet types in an unordered list. Then we have ordered HTML list. In ordered HTML list we will have the OL tag and li tags in between, and we have the bullet style, properly the bullet styles, you can say it as numbering, or the sequence can be of type 1, type of capital A, type small a, type 1, or type I in as Roman numbers and small I as Roman numbers. Okay, we are going to see the example over here. In the same document I would make the ordered list as well, ordered list starting and ending, and in between this ordered list I would have the list elements, then I would have second list element. Okay, I would have first list element, second list element, right? I would write it as pens and pencils. See what happens. Yes, we are having pens and pencils over here, and third point should not come over here. Okay, there are three. Right, we are having it as this. So what if we want to make some changes inside the ordered list sequence? We can have as type attribute over here, type equals double quotes, we would have one capital A, roman roman numerals in capital and in small, and small alphabets as well. I would use suppose capital A for this purpose. I would declare it as type over here, control S. Now see what happens inside the browser. I am seeing A, B, and C over here, right? So in this way you can make the changes. If I want to use uh, small I, what would happen? Control S. I would see the Roman numerals as 1, 2, 3. So in this way we can give types to the ordered list by using the type attribute. Okay, HTML description list. Now we are having this description list as well. We can use description list as with the DL tag, DT with the uh, tag defines the description term, that for what term you are going to give some description, and DD tag is used to describe the description of such element. And for this purpose you are going to have an example over here. I would write it as description list tag starting and ending. Inside description list, I would have dt description term. The term would be, suppose, soup. Okay, and for this term I would have different description data starting and ending. You can use tab for this purpose so that you can easily understand that which tag is coming inside which tag. Inside dl tag I am having dt tag. Inside dt, okay, dt tag starts and ends. Inside dt tag I would have the data of soup, and I'm also having dd description data description of such description term that is defined above, that is soup. I would have chicken over here. Then for the data I would have enter. For the data I would have salt over here and pepper over here. Salt, pepper and chicken are the description data, and soup is the description term. Now see what happens inside the browser. Yes, I am seeing this as description term, and these are the contents. You can also use big uh, a lot of words over here: salt, pepper. You can use big sentences over here as well, that such as salt, pepper are the spices. Okay, chicken is the main content, right? Okay, and cream is for finishing, right? So you can use this description in this way as well. Yes, soup is the description term, and for this description term you have these three description datas. Okay, this is the description list. Now we are having the nested HTML. Nested HTML lists can also be used for this purpose. For example, the inside the unordered list you can have another unordered list, or inside the unordered list you can have the ordered list, or inside the ordered list you can have the unordered list. Inside the ordered list you can have the ordered list. So in this way you can use the unordered, you can use the nested lists. We can also view its example. Suppose I am having this ordered, I want to use this ordered list inside this unordered list. See it over here. I would declare it as a list. Okay, this would be the list item or another other item in the unordered list, and inside this list I would declare my whole list over here, right? So this list has the ordered list. Control S. Now see what happens. This is the nested list. Now see what happens inside my browser. Yes, I am getting this type of thing over here. This list has this this is constituted, or this is present inside this unordered list. So in this way we can um, nest the HTML lists together. And now we are having the horizontal lists. Horizontal lists are styled with the CSS, and they are usually used in the HTML document to create the menu, like you see the menu on different websites. Okay, so in this way, so for this purpose we will use the horizontal lists. We will see the practical example for this purpose. Okay, I'm going to show you the practical example for this purpose. So for this purpose you will file new, control S, horizontal. The file name would be horizontal on desktop, horizontal.html. .html would be on desktop, horizontal.html. Okay, HTML tag starting, HTML tag ending, and here we would have here I would have my head tag starting, head tag ending, then body tag starting, body tag ending, and inside my body tag I would have the unordered list, for example with the ul tag starting, ul tag ending, and inside this ul tag I would have list first list item, then I would have second list item, then I would have suppose third list item, right? In the first list item I would write elements as first list item would be like this. Inside this starting tag I would use the href, okay, not inside, I would use it over here inside this list element. I would use the anchor tag over here such as a href equals, suppose I am having hash home, href is home, closing of href, then I would have home over here, right? So we are using anchor tag in between this list, okay? Then I'm going to copy the same thing over here and would like to create the menu like this, control V and control V over here, home, news and contact, suppose news and contact, right? We would have this, these three would be used as a menu over here. And for this list I'm going to use css properties. I'm going to show it as a horizontal list over here. So for this purpose I would use the style tag inside my head tag, and inside the head tag I would set the property for this list for unordered. This would be the unordered list. This is the html element. I'm going to select this html element, and for this html element I'm going to set different properties such as list style. As we know that for unordered list we will set the type would be none over here, and margin would be 0 over here, padding would be 0, overflow would be so hidden over here, and background color would be suppose aqua, or background color suppose would be black, right? These are the different css properties. Margin is used that the we have the difference of the main content, sorry, the difference between the main content and its border is denoted by padding. If we increase or decrease padding, then we are increasing or decreasing the difference between the content and its border. And margin would be used to create the distance outside the border. We will do in detail about the CSS in the future lectures. So for now, you just need to know about these things a little bit. And overflow hidden is used for to show that if the content is coming out of some div or coming out of some type of a container, then you have to hide that data. Or if you want to show that data out that is going outside the container, you will use overflow attribute of visible. By default, overflow is visible. We are using hidden over here. We will also discuss it in detail in onwards lecture. And background color of this menu would be black. Right now we are setting the property for the list, that is particularly for the list, that how we want to display the list. I would use the property of float, CSS property of float, and that would uh, set the elements in the left direction. You can also use it for setting the direction of all the elements in the right direction. Then I would have I would use list a lia. Okay, for this lia I would have display as block. I want to show the block type display for this particular thing. Lia means li's anchor tag. Li's anchor tag would display itself as a block, and the color of those anchor tags or the data inside the anchor tag, like we have used home, news, and contact. The color of home, news, and contact of the anchor tag would be white, and the text must be aligned as text dash align as center. Then padding must be like 15 pixels. Padding must be of 15 pixels, and text decoration property should be none. We will see all such properties in detail. These are only, you must know little about over here about these properties for showing the horizontal menu. Okay, now control S. Now see, okay, and we are left with one more HTML element and its property li's a anchor tag hover property. Hover means that what if you mouse over some of the anchor tag or some of that element inside the menu. Hover means to put the mouse over some element or to uh, move the mouse over some element. So for this hover element, we are going to set the properties as, if you mouse over that menu item, we the background color should be, suppose, beige. Beige would be visible, or beige, or you can say hash 7 times 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you can use this color as well. If you hover over such element, style tag is ending, head tag is ending, and the body tag is starting over here, right? We have used all such CSS properties for this menu, and this list would create the horizontal list. Now control S. It is saved with horizontal.html on my desktop. I would see it on my desktop. Horizontal. Okay, open with Google Chrome. Yes, I'm going to see this menu over here. see what happens. And in order to see the proper color on hover, you can use such as antique white. Maybe this antique white would be visible over there. We have to reload. Yes, this is visible. Like we are hovering over I'm hovering over my list. I'm moving my mouse on this item. The background color is going to change. Home, news, contact. It is on the left side. Okay, so in this way we will create the horizontal lists. And this is all for today. Thanks for watching and kindly subscribe the channel. Allah Hafiz.